get back to do some work on the Mugello cylinder that I was doing, but it just hasn't happened. I've just been too tired at work and not had time to do it. But I've had to help out a mate today and sort out his SCOMADI. And that, my friends, is on there. So that's pretty tight, so we're going to put some heat just onto the nut to help us remove it. Not too much, we start to melt rollers and stuff, so you've got to be a bit careful. Right, we've got the pulley off, took the roller out, one of them out, get a set of 6 rollers inside. Now what you want to look for is any flat spots. Just run your finger around the roller. If there's any flat spots, then replace them. They also go in directional. On one side of the roller you've got a capped surface of nylon. That goes in that direction, anti-clockwise. So as it sits, the face of the plastic sits on this direction, so they all go in that direction. Each one of the rollers fit with the plastic face in that direction, anti-clockwise. So you just go around, check them all, make sure they're all correct. Yeah. So the other thing you want to check when you've got this apart is the centre bush that it runs on. It runs on a phosphor bronze bush in the middle here. Check that for wear and smoothness of operation. We'll put a little bit of Teflon grease in there, very small amount, to lubricate that when it goes back together. Try to be very minimal on the Teflon when you put these together. Right, one last thing to check is the sliders. These ones fit on the ends. Some others clip into the back plate, but make sure that they're all complete and intact and undamaged. That's good. So that's all good to go back together with a new belt. Well, my compressor's back on again. We've just waxed the nut off. The nut came off the back pulley where the clutch is and the compensator spring. That came off pretty easy with the air gun. So we'll just take this apart now. We have a spacer. Spacer or washer? Spacer. So just pull the clutch off. There you go. Complete. Take the belt off. We'll give it a check. Bando and the numbers should be exactly the same as the one I've got. So we've got a new belt. I need my glasses on to read this. Okay, new belt. Check the numbers. Both identical. 818, 19.7, 28. So there we go. Bando V belt. So we're putting in an original belt, exactly the same bando. No aftermarket stuff. So there we go. New belt. Now there's no directional marks on this, so it can go either way. So the way to do it is squeeze this back, drop the belt in. And that now gives you some free play to put the front end together. So you just drop it on, like that. Clutch belt, give it an inspection, blow some of the clutch dust out. We'll get our, just get our airline. Right, but before we blow it out, we need to have a mask on. You don't want to be breathing in the dust and stuff. So get our airline. Blow all the excess dust out. And that's ready to go on. So we can put that on back straight with our air gun. You can hold this by hand. No problem. Can't see through the glasses. Whew. Okay, let's put the front pulley together. Right, front pulley. We've just put a little bit of grease onto that front bush. So now it runs nice and smoothly. Drop our back plate on. You want to try and avoid touching this front thing with your fingers if you can. On the front pulley, you don't want to get any grease on there, so I'm going to wipe my hands now. Okay. Just make sure that's all clean. So we'll drop this pulley on in this direction, like that. This pushes up against the back of the shoulder on the crank. Very simple. And then our belt simply drops over. Because we've compressed the back of the pulley, this gives us some free play on the belt. In fact, we could do it a little bit more. So if you look here, I've got now free play around the belt. Don't know whether you can see that. We'll have to just change the camera angle a bit. Is that better? This is in the way, isn't it? Right, okay. So once you've squashed that pulley at the back and compressed the spring, you can get yourself some free play around this front pulley here. Because when you tighten this up, you don't want it tightening onto the belt itself. You want to tighten it on to the bush. So we'll check our front pulley. Give that a bit of a clean. Drop it on. It's got splines, so make sure you locate them splines correctly, and it's gone back in again. Right. So that now fits on there nice and snugly. We've got a washer to fit there, and then our nut. Okay, now it's time to talk it down. Okay, I've been on my phone looking for information for SCOMADI. Very, very sparse indeed. You can't really find anything. So the closest I managed to find was the GY6 motor. So you're going to use the settings for the GY6 motor, which is almost pretty well very, very similar to this, and it can't be far out. So I've got all the settings on my phone for all the bolts on the engine for GY6 motor. So our front pulley is going to be 50 Newton meters. It says between 40 and 60, so 50 it is. Okay, I've got my torque wrench set up. So let's torque it down and hope my holding tool doesn't twist or bend. Not down yet. There you go. Okay, that's 40. So we'll go up a little bit more to 50 Newton meters. Right, lock it off. And that's it. Exactly the right tension. Even by feel, you can feel that's about right anyway. I mean, you know, if you've been doing bikes for a long time, you know more or less how much tension's going to go on a bolt. So that felt about right. So 50 Newton meters is probably right. You're probably wondering why I'm like so handy at this sort of stuff, but that's because I used to work at bike shops before. Used to work for Yamaha in the 80s, and in the 90s to 2000s I was working for Ducati and Harley Davidson in Gibraltar. So I've got a little bit of knowledge. Oh yeah. Harley Davidson. Right, I'll just start it up so you can see actually how the belt rotates and it all works. It could be interesting for some people. Have a little look.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little video of fitting the belt on the SCOMADI. Could be very handy for people. Always put a few little extra tips in there if I can. That's it for today. See you all later. Bye for now.